How does blocking pictures in an email protect my privacy? Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here for askleo.com. Here's the question. I received an email from a known vendor, not spam, with all the pictures withheld. At the top, below the header, there was a message which read, "Some pictures have been blocked to help prevent the sender from identifying your computer. Click here to download pictures." My question is, how can a sender identify my computer by me receiving pictures? And of course, how great is the risk? Identifying your computer in that message is somewhat vague, as it's not exactly what can happen, but the concept is still important. And in fact, if you've seen ads or services that claim we can tell if your email has been received, images are how they do it. And it's also why they can never be 100% reliable. There are two types of images in email: attached and remote. Attached images are exactly that. They're attached to and sent with the email message itself. When the message is displayed, your email program need look no further than the email itself already on your computer for the images. Typically, it'll display those right away. Attached images can be displayed in the body of your email, or they can appear as actual attachments. In either case, however, they were sent with the email itself. Now, remote images, probably not surprisingly, are also exactly that, remote. The email message actually includes a link or a reference to the image rather than the image itself. The intent is that when the email is displayed, the email program will then use that link to fetch the images from wherever they reside on the internet and then display them. In either case, the email can look exactly the same. Each of the two techniques has pros and cons. Attached images make your email larger and slower to download and deliver, but probably faster to display. Remote images create smaller emails but assume that the images can be fetched at the time the email is displayed, which isn't always a valid assumption. Most email programs will block remote images by default, unless you indicate that a particular sender is safe by adding it to an address book or some kind of safe list. This is typically what's happened when an email arrives and all you see are red dots or empty holes where the images should be. Now that we know what remote images are, let's look at how they can be used and abused. Let's say I send an email to a large number of people. In that email, formatted in HTML, I include a link to an image on my server. For example, in this case, image.askleomedia.com/puppy200.jpg. In HTML, it would be encoded like this. And if displayed, it would look like this. That image is hosted on my web server. And because of that, each time the image is displayed by an email program, or by someone reading this article, the retrieval of that image is logged. That's how I can track how many people displayed the image. Note that this is not the same as the number of people that opened the email, since images are blocked by default. There's no reliable way to do that. So far, though, we haven't identified anything about you specifically. That doesn't take much of a leap, though. Let's assume once again that I'm sending a large mailing to a number of people, but this time I add a little something to the email. In this case, image.askleomedia.com/puppy200.jpg, question mark, email equals you at example.com. Here, the mailing list software automatically includes the email address that the message is being sent to as part of the link to that image. Now, there are many, many techniques for doing and hiding this, but I've chosen something easy and obvious for this example. Each email contains a link to the image personalized with the email address of the recipient. When the email program fetches the image, it asks for image.askleomedia.com/puppy200.jpg, question mark, email equals you at example.com. Since this is an image, everything including and after the question mark is actually ignored by the web server. which just returns the image. But the full reference, including the email equals part, is logged on the web server's access logs. And now I can tell not only that the message was opened and that the image was displayed, but I can tell exactly who opened it. Unless, of course, images are blocked in your email program. So, great. How can all this be used and abused? Well, with spammers, it's easy. If they see that a particular email address has opened a message and displayed an image, the spammers now know that they've got a live one. They've got a valid email address that someone actually looks at. You can expect more spam. With legitimate businesses, it's a little less clear, and in my opinion, a lot less concerning. They do track open rates to see how effective their messages are. They know that not everyone displays images, but they can observe trends in the portion that do. Businesses can also track individual open rates if they want to, using the techniques above. Exactly how they might use this information varies depending on the business. As one example, I use it to see how many people open Confident Computing. Among other things, this helps me understand just how useful the newsletter is to my readers. My configuration is simple. I leave images blocked by default, but add almost all the business senders to my allow list so that I can see their images in all their glory. Bottom line, don't view images in spam, as that will let spammers know you're real and you're reading. Do allow images for those correspondents you expect and or trust. And if you're not sure, don't show images, just in case. For updates, for comments, for links related to this topic and more, visit askleo.com/3275. I'm Leo Notenboom, and this is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.